Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is the Centurion Mk. It's a tier 9 British medium tank located on the north spawn of Murovanka encounter, and this one is under the command of Captain Ashstorm. Now, encounter map on Murovanka, well, as you know, encounter is normally about the cap, but it's also about controlling the cap, and that means controlling the centre of the map, because you can shoot into the cap area from the centre. And it looks like, yep, Captain Ashstorm has started. Centurion Mk is the development of the standard Centurion, the Centurion 1. It's a bigger tank, actually contains more room inside for the crew, larger fuel tanks, more armour, and well, it's just better all round. The one great thing about this tank though is it's got the 105mm gun, which, as you can see here with standard APCR, is capable of doing... Oh, just got whacked by the pattern. Yes, if I can get my thing to mark it, it's 390 alpha with standard APCR. Oh, didn't get that one in. The AE phase 1 managed to block it, and Captain Ashstorm had to move out the way because he was blocking the 430. That's better. Kills him this time. Yes, he'll do 390 alpha and penetrate 268mm of armour with the standard APCR, and with the HESH round, because it does have the HESH round, he'll only go through 210, but he'll do 480 alpha. And so yes, he will do a lot more damage with these premium rounds. Just managed to get 393, a high roll into that batch at 25 TAP. Now it's a fairly big tank, which makes it a big target for the enemy, but it's still fairly agile. A low roll there, 389. It's also got 10 degrees gun depression. He's using that quite well here, and he finishes off the M46 pattern with one shot to his hitbox. The enemy is capping, but that's over the other side of the battlefield. At the moment he's trying to control the magic forest, and he puts a round into the top of the T30 just before he pulls back down below that ridge line. And he's moving forward with his friends, ignoring the siren, because at the moment we do have tanks nearby, so they can get resets. You can't always be certain that will happen, mainly because sometimes there are players who just forget that it's the encounter, and yet you still have to do something like resets every now and then. Just a pause. Look, nobody's taking action on those guys, so he can push forward. It's a very strong turret on the Centurion, as you may know. The hull is fairly weak, but especially the lower plate, you don't want to get hit on the lower plate if you can help it. But the hull armour is 121mm at the front, 50.8 at the sides, and 31 at the rear. The turret though, that's really strong, 254. He's going for a long shot on the leopard there. Nice one, gets a high roll but only just. Don't think the leopard can see him at this distance, and he's decided to push ahead. Oh, and the standard B's getting in the way. Okay, object treble 7. Now I had trouble fighting one of those just recently because they're very flat and very difficult to find the cupola on those things. Of course, I did manage to find the cupola a couple of times, but I gave him so many opportunities, he found my weak spots and got me instead. So yeah, I do recommend those treble 7 double version 2. Tries for the leopard, doesn't get it, but there's a priority target, the FB4005 stage 2, and instead he's actually going for the Type 61. Tries a blind shot. I'm pretty sure that one will have connected, but he's going for the treble 7 too, as again, as I said, very small cupolas on that thing. Goes for the rear of the vehicle to make sure the pen gets a high roll. He's got plenty of standard ammo on this tank at the moment. A lot of players just go straight to the HESH, but Captain Ashstorm's using up his standard ammo first, because of course it'll make more credits for him. No signs, so I think he's going to push ahead. We are ahead of the enemy at the moment. Oh, Progetto. Good job he didn't roll straight into that one at high speed. Progetto knows he's here, of course, because he's been struck. But he's trying to pull back and... well, I don't think he got that. I think he got the spotting assist. I think the round hit the dirt instead of actually going into the Progetto, because he aimed a little too low to try and get it into the hull, and instead he should have aimed just for the turret. Okay, Type 61 again. Yes, nice shot. And that's a high roll. Type knows that he's got to try and avoid any more shots. Oh, now there's the FP4005. He can't get a shot into him, so he goes back to the Type 61. Now he's got a shot into the FP, who must have been behind a house. I had this happen to me yesterday. Somebody drove in front of me just as I was aiming and stole the shot that I was about to take on the enemy. I'm fully dialed in. What was more annoying was that that was the only shot that I would have been able to make in the entire battle. Unfortunately, our team collapsed and we lost the game, but the idiot just drove right in front of me. I checked his stats afterwards. He wasn't a very good player, but he just drove straight in front of somebody as they were aiming and blocked my shot, so I couldn't fire. And it would have been the only shot I had on target. I tried several other shots later on during the game and I couldn't get it. So he's earned the Pascucci's. He didn't get the FP4005, and there's only one enemy remaining. It's the Udes. Very annoying whenever that happens. You're playing and somebody on your own team blocks you or stops you from pulling back, and you take shots from the enemy that you would have avoided if you've been able to pull back in time, and or he blocks you from taking a shot and you end up missing out on the hit points or a kill that would have secured you a medal. It looks like that 1516's headed north. He's probably Arty hunting, actually, that guy. And Captain Ashstorm's decided, no, I'm not going to stick around. I'll just cut straight across, because I think he's actually headed somewhere else. Or is he going into the cap? No, he is going to the cap. The Udes did end up over the other side of the battlefield. He killed the T-92, unfortunately. And Captain Ashstorm's platooned with the Udes on his own team, who's got 4 kills. So they're on for a brothers in arms if the Udes survives. And he's been killed. So that's the end of the game. And it's a victory. Guns up. Well, that was a special game in more than one way, because that was the first ace tanker that Captain Ashstorm has had on the Centurion Mk 7.1. You can tell it's the first one because it's got the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time on an ace tanker. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage to hit points in his own vehicle, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, he ended up with 4 exactly, a sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage for your team, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed to get 6. He also picked up an epic medal. He got the Pascucci's for killing 2 enemy Arty, as well as a brothers in arms for being in platoon with somebody else who had at least 3 kills, in fact he had 4 each. And also a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate in that game was 8,848, which is Super Unicum Standard and a bit more. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he was. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game, but neither did the Udes on the enemy team. He got 4,959 hit points of damage before he was taken out. But Captain Ashstorm got 4,600, which actually made him the highest scorer on his own team, but not the highest scorer overall. When it came to kills, he had the highest amount, and he shared that title with the Udes 1516 on his own team, who also picked up the brothers in arms. And the next high score after that was that Udes 1516, the one that killed at the end. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's one of only 2 players to get the over 1,000. It's Captain Ashlain tops with 1,316. 1,003 went to the Standard B on his own team, and the UDES on his team managed to get 976, so he wasn't that far behind at all. And the Object 430 should be recognised. He did get a Confederate as well, so he obviously hit as many tanks that were subsequently killed by as Captain Ashlain did. 19 shots fired, 15 direct hits, 14 penetrations. It's a very good gun, the 105mm, the L7A1. 4,600 hit points of damage, of which 2,695 were at more than 300 meters. It's a very accurate gun. In fact, it's the same gun that basically the Leopard's guns are designed on or built on. Although those are built by Rheinmetall, it's the same design. 1 hit received, 1 penetration, I'm afraid. Yes, he did get hit. But he also spotted 5 enemy vehicles, damaged 11, killed 4, did 1,856 hit points of spotting assist, and he managed to get 17 capture points while he was sitting in the gap. On a premium count, he earned 67,101 credits from the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he actually made a small profit of 19,713 credits. He got 25 bonds for completing a mission, and 1,974 XP, no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But at last he's aced the Centurion 7-1, and really, I suppose the only thing now is to get it 3 marked, and as soon as you've done that, move on to the next one. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.